Gabrielle, so good to see you again. So happy to have you back on the live desk again today. I mean, it seems every single year that we do these, I get more and more excited and get to check out all the awesome stuff that you guys have kind of prepared for the community. But how excited are you to be back for a 27th year with the Michigan Alpaca Festival?
We are super excited. It is the longest running show in the country, which is just a feat in and of itself. And we're going to see a lot of really, really beautiful animals this weekend and a lot of fun activities.
And I know you've got a lot of friends in the background there, but you do have a friend right next to you. Who are we
Yes.
taking a look at right now?
This is Marin. She is one of our obstacle course animals that
Oh,
the
wow.
youth will be using this weekend.
Yeah, I think that kind of is a perfect segue into leading about what
Yes.
people can kind of expect to see when they do show up to the festival. This is not something that comes very often outside of this festival to Michigan, and many people probably don't have the opportunity to get to see alpacas this up close too often. So when people do show up to the festival this weekend, what are some of the things that they are going to be able to see besides the hundreds of alpacas that are going to be there?
Yes. Hundreds of alpacas. We'll start there. So when you walk in the fairgrounds, you'll see lots and lots of alpacas. And then the adults have a competition going. Simultaneously, the kids have a competition going. So the adults, it's going to be very similar to a dog show where you bring in, your best animals in different classes. It's organized by gender and by color. So Marin's brown. She would be in the brown class. But there's lots of different colors of alpacas. So you'll see an entire rainbow, and then those will come out sort of in groups throughout the day. So you'll see all different types of animals. And then in a different arena, you will have the youth competing in obstacle course, public relations, and then showmanship. And then around lunchtime, the youth actually dress up their animals, and you will see a costume parade. And it is narrated with little stories about how the costumes came to be. It's adorable.
And we have some photos for everybody to check them out as well, just so they can kind of get an idea of that costume show.
Yeah,
Gabrielle,
so cute. And
yeah,
they're all
absolutely.
handmade. You can't buy that at the store.
Right, exactly. I think that kind of goes to show just how big of a festival this really is. And I, kind of want to
Yes.
shift over to now. I ask you this question every single year, but really, why alpacas?
Mhm.
Why is this animal so important to not only you on your farm, but also for the community to bring them all out and have a festival like this every single year?
Yeah, yeah. So alpacas are a sustainable source of clothing.
Mhm.
So they're part of the textile industry. Any alpaca item can be essentially we shear off their fleece once a year and then we turn that into yarn and then you can make it into different garments. I'm wearing my alpaca scarf today. I've got alpaca socks on. They're hypoallergenic and they're super, super warm. So it's a really, really good hiking sock or layering piece. And again, it's a sustainable textile industry here in America.
So definitely a lot to celebrate, definitely a lot to know and learn about alpacas that you can at this festival. Gabrielle, is there a favorite part that you have about this show? I know you listed off a bunch of different things that people can expect, but is there something,
Mhm.
maybe not a specific event that's happening at the festival, but a certain aspect to it that you always look forward to year after year?
Yes. The so we like to bring the public in. We're one of the only shows that really it openly invites the public in, and we have at our booth actually treats to feed the animals. And so Marin has treats right below us. That's why she's trying to get to those. So we have treats that we'll give out. So I love sharing them with the community. The costume contest is obviously a favorite. I also really like when the alpacas do like the teeter totter or climbing with the on the stairs and things with the youth. It's really, really nice to see that bond that the kids have with their animal.
And for people that this is going to be their first time heading out to the festival, I mean, are there any tips or things that you would maybe recommend or at least tell people about when they do show up, just so maybe they're not overwhelmed with how much is going on, or maybe a tip for them to be able to see everything that they really want to, or all the things worth seeing at the
Yeah.
festival?
Yeah, absolutely. Essentially, there's going to be lots of vendors there, lots of artisans, lots of people who are hand making their fleece items, which is something that I'm not very good at, but other people are really, really good at. So there, you can ask as many questions as you want. All the vendors there are there to educate and get people excited about this industry. And then when you go into the show, it's very, very tempting to try and touch the poof and the bangs on an alpaca. They don't love that. So I ask the owner, but a lot of times they'll prefer to be pet like on the front of the neck or on the front of the shoulder. And then you're going to be seeing alpacas like running back and forth to the show rings in the aisles. So if you see somebody coming, part ways because they're about to be in the ring, which is very exciting. And you can follow them through, take a seat, and then watch what happens.
All great tips for sure. I can see that Marin is kind of over me asking you guys a bunch of questions. So I've got one last question for you, Gabrielle.
My friends are eating treats over there. Can
Right.
I have more treats?
Exactly. Don't worry, Marin. We're going to get you over there.
She will be at the show, though. You can definitely stop by and give Marin a treat. She has an affinity for treats.
Right.
So.
Definitely. Well, Gabrielle, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but I wanted to let you have the final word here. And really, as somebody who is very passionate about the Michigan Alpaca Festival, what would you tell somebody to make sure that they do show up this weekend down in Allegan and enjoy everything?
I mean, so it's going to be like something you've never seen before. So there's so many alpacas. There's so many people that are, professional animal showmanship. And then there's also so many people that are amazing artisans that really, really want to show off their craft. And so, our audience, we love having the public in and just educating people about the importance of these animals and how to take care of them if you're interested. And you actually can get a lot of hands-on demonstrations there too. And the whole thing is free. So we have a donation jar at the door. But if you're a family that just wants to get out and put the kids in the stroller and walk around, totally safe to do that. And alpacas do have an affinity for children because they like anyone that's usually shorter than them. That's their preferred crowd. So if you're bringing kids, they're usually really, really engaging with the children that are walking in the aisles and will, give you sniffs and looks and all that sort of stuff. So it is really fun. It's very engaging.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to that. And if for people that are watching and they want to know a little bit more information about the Michigan Alpaca Festival, you can find it all right now inside this week's Weekend Planner over on woodtv.com. Gabrielle, it was so good seeing you again. Thank you so much for stopping by. And Marin, enjoy those treats back there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Phil.
Yep.